The salary bump you have been ruthlessly chasing for the past 3 years finally hits your checking account. You feel an undeniable surge of success, yet when you calculate your net worth 6 months later, the number is standing completely still. The invisible tax you are paying is not going to the government, but to your own escalating desires. We call this the hidden cost of lifestyle creep, and it is the single greatest threat to your wealth accumulation right now. Most ambitious professionals assume that a rising income automatically guarantees growing wealth, but this is a comforting and dangerous lie. According to research from the Federal Reserve Bank of St. Louis, higher earning brackets frequently exhibit proportional increases in consumption, effectively neutralizing their increased earning power. You start making more money, so you upgrade the downtown apartment, lease a premium vehicle, and suddenly your new financial baseline is aggressively eating up every single extra dollar. This is where we must draw a hard, unforgiving line between high earning power and actual financial independence. The trap is deeply psychological. When you work tirelessly for a career milestone, human nature demands a reward, whispering that you have finally earned the right to visible luxury. But indulging that mindset transforms your hard-won surplus into a permanent liability, locking you into a relentless cycle where you must maintain a high-stress career just to fund an inflated existence. To escape this exhausting treadmill, we have to look closely at the cold mechanics of money. Wealth is not the impressive gross number printed on your annual tax return. Wealth is the deliberate gap between your ego and your income. It is the unspent capital that you deploy into the market to work on your behalf. If your discretionary spending expands at the exact same rate as your salary, your saving rate remains statically paralyzed at zero. Think about the profound mathematical destruction happening behind the scenes of a seemingly successful life. Let us say you secure a $20,000 raise. If you immediately absorb that cash flow into your lifestyle, you are not just losing $20,000 a year. You are forfeiting the massive future value of that capital. Factoring in the power of compound interest, an annual $20,000 investment over 20 years in a standard index fund could yield well over $1 million. That lost million is the true staggering price tag of your upgraded lifestyle. Every single time you consciously choose a premium subscription, a luxury car lease, or an unnecessarily inflated mortgage over aggressive investment, you are financing your present comfort by selling off your future freedom. It is a disastrous trade for anyone serious about prosperity. We are trading scalable, exponential growth for rapidly depreciating assets that offer nothing but a fleeting, hollow dopamine hit. The entire modern economy is fundamentally engineered to facilitate this exact wealth destruction. Consumerism is not just a cultural quirk, it is a highly optimized, data-driven machine designed to extract your surplus capital before it can ever compound. According to a 2023 study by the American Psychological Association, social media significantly accelerates financial anxiety and competitive spending among millennials and Gen Z, creating a toxic environment where extreme consumption feels like the baseline standard. We are relentlessly bombarded by algorithmic proof of other people living their absolute best lives, which deliberately distorts our perception of what is normal. The financial industry happily plays along with this illusion, offering frictionless credit and buy now, pay later schemes to bridge the dangerous gap between your actual income and your aspirational lifestyle. They are banking on your lack of discipline because a dependent, indebted consumer is a highly profitable consumer. Recognizing this predatory environment is the mandatory first step toward true financial autonomy. You have to realize that participating in the status game is a rigged bet where the only guaranteed outcome is your own permanent stagnation. The exact moment you stop caring about looking wealthy to people you do not even like, you unlock the psychological freedom required to actually become wealthy. So how do we actively weaponize our rising income instead of squandering it on fleeting status symbols? The strategy begins with a ruthless concept called the anti-budget. Instead of meticulously tracking every single coffee purchase, which is exhausting and rarely sustainable, you focus entirely on your overall saving rate. When your income goes up, you immediately increase your automated investment contributions before that new money ever touches your primary checking account. This is the uncompromising application of paying yourself first. If you secure a 10% raise, you immediately allocate at least 7% of that directly into your investment portfolio. You allow yourself a minor, calculated lifestyle upgrade with the remaining 3% to maintain motivation, but the lion's share is instantly captured for long-term wealth building. You artificially restrict your visible cash flow to force financial adaptation. By automating this aggressive capture of capital, you remove human willpower from the equation entirely. Your portfolio of index funds, real estate investment trusts, or individual equities grows silently and powerfully in the background. You are intentionally building a resilient system where your daily lifestyle is funded by a static baseline, while your wealth accumulation captures all the dynamic, explosive upside of your ongoing career growth. The staggering power of this artificial scarcity becomes evident within just a few short years. While your high-earning peers are terrified about maintaining their expensive habits during inevitable economic downturns, you have built a massive, impenetrable buffer of liquid capital. That capital provides ultimate optionality. It means you are no longer chained to a toxic employer, and you possess the resources to capitalize on sudden market opportunities when asset prices inevitably drop. This level of optionality fundamentally changes how you interact with the entire world. You move decisively from playing defense to playing offense. When you are not desperate for your next paycheck to cover inflated monthly bills, you can take calculated, asymmetrical risks. You can negotiate much harder, pivot careers seamlessly, or walk away from bad deals without hesitation. Financial independence is ultimately about buying back your time and your absolute autonomy. Society aggressively conditions us to view wealth as a loud display of consumption, but true wealth is actually entirely invisible. It is the money you have deliberately chosen not to spend. It is the diversified stock portfolio you do not talk about at dinner parties, the business equity you are quietly building in the background, and the profound peace of mind that comes from knowing you are completely self-reliant. The loudest people in the room are rarely the wealthiest. We must radically redefine our personal relationship with success. Instead of measuring progress by the exclusive zip code we live in or the luxury badge on our steering wheel, we need to measure it by our asset allocation and our scalable passive income streams. Every single dollar of discretionary spending must be ruthlessly interrogated. Ask yourself if this purchase is genuinely improving your life, or if it is just a temporary, expensive pacifier for career burnout. If you are spending heavily just to desperately recover from the stress of earning the money in the first place, you are caught in a toxic, self-defeating feedback loop. The permanent solution is not more spa days, premium upgrades, or luxury vacations. The solution is building enough capital to permanently eradicate the stress. You are deploying your surplus to buy the ultimate untouchable luxury, which is absolute control over your own daily schedule. This requires an aggressive, highly contrarian approach to your personal finances. You have to be completely willing to live differently than your peers for a focused decade, so you can live completely differently than them for the rest of your natural life. It means driving a reliable, older vehicle while your colleagues show up in new luxury sedans, knowing with absolute certainty that your diverted car payment is sitting in a brokerage account earning an average of 8% a year. Once you master this defensive strategy of crushing lifestyle creep, you can pivot to the aggressive offensive game of wealth creation. This is where we look at scalable income streams and bold entrepreneurial ventures. Because your living expenses are permanently capped and highly controlled, any new income you generate from a secondary hustle, a digital business, or a specialized consulting gig is pure, unadulterated profit. You are no longer just a standard employee trading hours for dollars. You have transformed yourself into a strategic capital allocator. You can take the heavy profits from your primary career and confidently seed a new venture without ever risking your basic livelihood. The ironclad discipline you forged by resisting consumerism now becomes the operational efficiency that makes your new business incredibly lean and resilient. A business built by an operator who deeply understands cash flow and aggressively rejects unnecessary overhead is a highly dangerous competitor in any market. You are not bleeding precious capital on fancy office space or premature ego-driven branding. You are funneling every available dollar directly into product development and customer acquisition. The exact same anti-budget philosophy that built your personal wealth now systematically builds your enterprise value. History is littered with tragic examples of lottery winners, professional athletes, and high-flying corporate executives who went spectacularly bankrupt because they fundamentally misunderstood this core dynamic. They incorrectly believed that a massive influx of cash was the ultimate finish line. They did not realize that without the psychological armor required to resist rapid lifestyle inflation, a high income is just a faster car driving blindly toward a brick wall. We absolutely refuse to make that amateur, predictable mistake. We understand that the market does not care about your impressive job title, your perceived social status, or your expensive tastes. The market only rewards capital that is consistently deployed, intelligently managed, and left alone to compound over time. Every time you intercept a dollar headed for a luxury purchase and redirect it into an income-producing asset, you are aggressively rewriting your financial destiny. The path to extraordinary wealth is not shrouded in mystery, nor is it reserved for the elite. It does not require a genius-level intellect or illegal insider information. It simply requires the emotional intelligence to delay gratification, the strategic vision to automate your investments, and the sheer attitude to completely ignore the consumerist noise that keeps everyone else broke. You possess the earning power right now to fundamentally change your life trajectory. Do not let your rising income become a golden trap of your own making. Lock down your financial baseline, capture every ounce of the surplus, and invest it with relentless, unapologetic aggression. The hidden cost of lifestyle creep is your ultimate freedom, and you must refuse to pay it. We are building wealth with attitude, and that means choosing real power, total independence, and lasting legacy over a fleeting, expensive illusion of luxury.